Wednesday, everybody. I see that there's a bunch of you already on. You guys are so quick. There's Ruby from Colorado. Brisbane is here. I think that's Annette. And we've got Tampa. We've got Tampa, Florida. We've got upstate New York. Welcome, everybody. I'm so happy to be with you on this fine Wednesday. Today is May 31st, and my name is Noreen Smith. I am the Product Development Creative Manager at Creative Memories. And as always, each and every Wednesday, it is so much fun to be with you. I'm just adjusting things here, but it's so much fun to be with you and share some ideas for fast and fun projects, just like the name suggests. So welcome, everybody. Bunch more gals joining in. Carmel from Brisbane. There's, oh man, they're going fast and furious there. BT from Illinois. Bernie from Ocala, Florida. Sheila from Ontario. Welcome, Sheila. We've got Linda just from up the road here in Airdrie. Hi, Linda. Haven't seen you for a while, so good to see you. Diana from Kentucky. We've got someone from Florida. Debbie is signing in from Grass Valley, California, and so many more. They're just coming fast and furious. So welcome. It is always a pleasure to see all of those names, familiar names. Some of you I've actually met before in person, which is awesome, and lots of familiar names. So welcome, everybody. So today we are going to have a frenzy of border making. So we all know that Creative Memories has incredible tools for creating borders. And what I think we kind of forget sometimes is how fast a border can come together and how awesome it is at creating a fast page. And sometimes we get kind of bogged down in thinking of, really unique designs and all of that. But if we let the tools do the work for us, and if we think just two words I want you to keep in mind. What if? All right? What if? And we are going to keep coming back to that little phrase a lot today, because we're going to use 3 different Border Maker cartridges and 2 different collections to create 6 different kinds of borders and 6 different layouts, okay? And we're not going to use a sketch for any of them. We are just going to create some borders, and we're going to take our cue from the borders, and these pages are going to come together super fast, okay? So it's going to be lots of fun. Who else am I seeing? I've got Margaret from California, Jackie from Arizona, Steph's here from Iowa. Hi, Steph. Good to see you. Bev from Texas. Someone from Virginia. Puerto Rico is here. Way to go. And Patty, my friend Patty, is here from Illinois. So welcome, everybody, again, if you missed out at the beginning. Now, before we go any further, I always like to remind you, some of you I see as Facebook users because you're watching in the Creative Memories Virtual Crop Facebook group. Some of you I see as YouTube users because you're watching on the Creative Memories YouTube channel. Make sure, go over to the other platform and make sure you have subscribed to the YouTube channel and requested to join the Facebook group, because there's great things that happen on each of those platforms. The YouTube channel, for example, has the Scrapbooking 101 and Fast and Fun playlists. So that's a great place to find what you're looking for very easily. Plus all of the collection overviews. Anytime we have a new collection, there's usually a collection overview. So that's all there on YouTube. And then, of course, in the Virtual Crop Facebook group, not only do we have our weekly lives as well, but we have the virtual crops. And we've got one coming up 2 weeks from now, June 9th. So if you haven't already joined us over in the Facebook group, make sure to do that before June 9th, because it's a great time. We give you a handout with 4 different sketches. You get to see lots of examples. You get to post your versions of the virtual crop sketches and a chance to win lots of prizes. So it is lots and lots of fun. Okay, so that's my little public service announcement for the day. Let's get going. But what I want to do first is I want to give you another public service announcement, just in case you missed out on what launched yesterday, because we have 3 incredible promos, and they're all related to what we're going to be doing today. Okay, so I'm going to switch you over to my computer. Just again, a word of reminder that I am in Canada, so that's why you see the Canadian flag up in the corner there, and the Canadian prices. So you will want to make sure to check your website for creativememories.com for the US, .ca for Canada, and .com/AU for, sorry, I'm just grabbing my computer here so it's a little bit closer to me. Yeah, there we go. And .com/AU for Australia. Okay, so our first one, let's you obviously see that there's a great promo here, but let's talk about that one last. Okay, I want to talk about a different promo right now. And this is one that you guys are getting very used to. That is the Buy It All bundle that launches every time we have a brand new collection at the beginning of the month. So the Buy It All bundle right now includes the Enchanted Wizard and the Enchanted Princess collection. So you'll get the Enchanted Wizard paper pack, stickers, and a fireworks punch. You'll get the Enchanted Princess paper pack, stickers, and tiara chain border maker cartridge, plus the variety matte pack there that you see has designs for both wizard and princess. So that's the first promo I want you to be aware of, because you get that whole bundle at the Buy It All price of $86.50 Canadian, $88.50 Canadian. Remember to check your country's website for the price in your currency. Okay, so that's the first one. Then if we scroll down just a little bit, I want to tell you about another promo that's happening, and some of you may recognize this. This special edition color changed border maker system. It was actually part of our birthday week last fall. So this is a great, great thing because it includes the exclusive frosted cupcake chain border maker cartridge, which you can't buy anywhere else. And we're also giving you some celebration laser cut borders free. So that is the second big promo that you'll want to take note of. Okay, so Buy It All bundle, original border maker system, color change, special edition, plus the the celebration laser cut borders. And then let's talk about the one that you saw up at the top here. So our spend get promo that's on right now is focused on border maker cartridges. And so for your qualifying purchase, again, check your country's website. You're going to be able to choose one of two beautiful exclusive border maker cartridges. And of course, if you love border maker cartridges, these are both must-haves, and we're also going to be playing with them. So double check your country's website to make sure what the qualifying spend is. But basically, if you purchase I'm going to come back to you here now. If you purchase the Enchanted Buy It All bundle and the original border maker system, the special edition one with the extra cupcake, frosted cupcake chain cartridge, you're gonna be very close to the spend. So you're going to be able to get all of those great bonuses at a great price. Plus, you're going to be able to get that exclusive border maker cartridge of your choice. Okay, so it's a great, great time to take advantage of that. And we are going to use the Enchanted Princess and Wizard papers and stickers today. We're going to use the original border maker system plus the frosted cupcake chain PMC. I always try to remember the order of the words there. And we're going to use the two new exclusives, the dotted banner and the mosaic. Okay, so let me put my computer away there. And let me turn you over now to my desk so you can see what these fantastic border maker cartridge system borders actually look like. Okay, sorry. I'm not doing too good today here. There we go. All right. So I've got a couple of each of the borders punched out here for you just to kind of show you. Oh, and Steph's saying, plus the recipe template deal. I forgot all about that because Steph, next week we're actually going to be talking about the recipe template. So I probably had that in my, I probably didn't have it in my mind for that reason. And somebody's asking, will the cupcake chain be available otherwise? No, it is only available with the purchase of the special edition color changed border maker system. And the reason that it's not available is it actually comes right in that little spot there, and so there's no extra box or anything for it. It's just part of the boxed set, so it's not something that we sell separately. Last year during birthday week, it was sold separately, which is why I have the box, but we sold through the retail quantities of it, and now it's only available in the box with the color changed border maker system. So I know that you say, you know, you might not need a new BMC. It's always fun to have this extra one. If you're an advisor, I highly recommend getting one so that when you're demoing, you can make sure that, you know, use these, use the color changed version, and you can always make sure that you're going home with your own products. So that's a great way to kind of distinguish your tools from everybody else's tools at an event. Okay, so let's have a look at these. And again, the two words that I want you to think about, what if? Because we're going to talk about how versatile these are, all the different ways you can use them, and why you should have them. So for example, with the cupcake, frosted cupcake border, some of you might say, well, you know, I only do maybe a birthday layout or, you know, something like that, you know, a few times a year. So I really don't need that. I think you're going to change your mind when you see a couple of different ways that we can use it. This one here, the Mosaic diamond chain, you might think to yourself, well, you know, it's pretty, but I have some other designs that work really well. But I really like this one because it's a punch out style. So we're going to talk about how that can look really different, even just using some basic paper and cardstock. And then this one, the dotted banner chain, what a pretty sort of shape there. And again, you might think, well, maybe that's a little bit feminine, but I'm going to show you a couple of different ways to use it that will have you thinking, I didn't expect that. At least I hope you'll say that. So let me just clear off these little samples. We'll come back to those later. We'll put all of our border makers up here. And let's do it this way. Let's make a princess and a wizard with layout and border with each of the different border maker cartridges. Okay, so if you haven't seen the Enchanted Princess, Enchanted Wizard, very, very much the same sort of fantasy, enchantment theme, but as you can see, one is very much more masculine, deeper colors, and one is much lighter, pastel, pretty sort of colors. So as you might think, the wizard one is tailor-made for anybody who loves a certain little wizard, who, you know, dresses up, goes to, you know, loves costumes, goes to theme parks with rides, that kind of thing. And the Enchanted Princess, again, beautiful pastel colors, perfect for all of those little princesses who love to dress up and, you know, princess birthday parties, all that kind of stuff. So we're going to make two very different looking borders and layouts with each of these cartridges. So I'm running out of places to put things. Let's start with the banner chain. Okay, so as I mentioned, the dotted banner chain is a really pretty cartridge. It almost looks like, kind of reminds me of like strings of lights, that kind of thing. And I've got two punched out here because I just want to play around with it for a second. So obviously one on its own is great. You can have one at the top, you can have one at the bottom. You could layer them. You could punch them out of two different and kind of layer them on top. You can put them together with the points together, and that creates one kind of shape. That reminds me almost of like a clamshell, like Little Mermaid clamshell sort of thing. Or you can put them together with the little dots together, and that creates a whole other look as well. So anytime you get a border maker cartridge or a new border punch out a couple and just play around. Say, what if I do this? What if I take a pair of scissors and cut a piece apart? What would that shape look like? How could I use it? Again, different sections of 2, sections of 3. combining them, layering them, turning one upside down. How do they look sideways versus horizontal? So play with them, ask what if. Okay, so let's start with Princess. And what I've done, I've just got a couple of kind of rectangles here for some photo spots, but I've taken a kind of a neutral or all over pattern paper here, and then I've gone ahead and punched out 3 borders with the dotted banner chain from different papers, the colors of which are in that background. So again, you can see the little blue stars, you can see the little turquoise stars, and the purple, the lighter lilac purple color. So I've punched 1 from each. So I can do a few different things. Like we mentioned, we could just, stack them, and that would be very pretty. We can go ahead and layer them. So you can layer them top to bottom or bottom to top. So let's try this way first. We'll slip this one underneath. Okay, and so then you get this kind of scalloped look. It almost looks like a kind of a swag. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to adhere them together on an angle. So I'm going to take that center point. I'm just going to add just a little touch of repositionable adhesive, and I'm going to just add them together on an angle, just matching up those center points. And now all of a sudden I have this beautiful sort of swag, and it reminds me of like party streamers, bunting, that kind of thing. So I could put that at the top, I could put it at the bottom, I could even put it in the middle, and I actually quite like that. So I'm just going to tack it down there so it doesn't move too far on us. And when I'm working with borders, I like to have the 2 things that you see me working with here are the 13 by 13 inch cutting mat, so that I can kind of see my middle, my guidelines, and repositionable adhesive. So really important. And then I have some little, let's see, I think these are 3.5 by 5.5. So I've got a few different little photo spots here that I could add in, and really then my layout is pretty much done. All I need to do is add some kind of great title, and that's where our stickers come in. I could choose something that picks up all 3 of these, maybe something like this fairy tale, and I would just put it right in the center there. Maybe I'd make a little bit more of a cluster. I don't know, maybe something like this, or pull in that purple again. That's probably a little bit better. Okay, and maybe I'll put it on this side so it doesn't get lost on the purple background or the purple swag there. So really, that's my 3 borders, some photo spots that I just cut out from the same papers, and a little embellishment in the center. So I'm just going to put a foam square on that, just so that we kind of know that that is our first layout. Okay, so that's our princess layout with the dotted banner chain. Let's go ahead now and make our layout with Enchanted Wizard. So I love a good plaid, so I'm going to use this plaid background. There we go. And what I've done here is I've taken 2 different papers. I've taken the red stars and the gold lightning, and I've gone ahead and I've punched out 2 banner chains from the gold and a 1.5 inch strip from the red. And then all I did was I placed the dots together and added the strip over top. So just because I already have that done, I'm just going to show you how I arranged it. So I've got that, and then I placed the strip over the top. So I'm really just adhering these little dots to the back side of my border. Okay, so it looks completely different. You'd never know that that was the same border maker cartridge. So then I can come in, got some little 4x6s and then some 3x4s. Could just do something like that. I like the angle there because it kind of mimics the angle of the lightning bolts. And then, yeah, let's have a look here. So all we really need for this, we could do a couple different things. We could actually add another layer to it by adding just our border sticker. Okay, we could add our border sticker down the center there. I don't think I'll do that right now because I want to show that to you with another idea. And then let's go ahead and add a title. How about, we got Full of Wonder and All Smiles. Both of those are kind of circular. And if we layered those together, either there or there, we would pull in all of the same colors that we've got in the borders and in the papers. So we could do that. We could do any of these little, the books. Okay, something like that. We could build a great little cluster with some fireworks. We could even, if we wanted to, turn this and have it go across the top, we could take those flags and add those on top of our border. So there's so many different, I can't stop myself. There's just so many different ways that you can finish these off. So we could do something like that with the title in the middle. How about Magic is in You? Okay, so we could group that together there. I need extra fingers. So we could group something like that together, lay it on top, and then we can do our other, you can stagger them, you can add them whichever way you like. Okay, so 2 different layouts with the same border maker cartridge. One very much, let's do it this way again. One is very much the feminine sort of version, very pretty, very delicate, and one is much more the masculine version by kind of focusing on those points. So dotted chain, dotted banner chain, double check for versatility, masculine, feminine, a couple different ways to use it. And I'm sure when you get yours, you're going to think of even more ways to use it. Okay, so that's the first one. Let's go ahead now and let's talk about Mosaic diamond chain. This one's really neat because even though it is a chain, it actually has punch outs as well. So let's talk about both of these kind of at the same time because each of them looks very, very different. Just move these out of the way for now. Okay, so what I've done here is I have punched the Mosaic diamond chain along the side edges of each of these papers, okay, and this top and bottom here. And then I've added a strip of paper along the back. So in this case, I've added the gold paper in behind the back, and that creates the contrast. In this case, I punched it from the ombre pattern, and I simply added a strip of white cardstock in behind, and that creates that white sort of pattern. So very different looks. We've got kind of pattern on pattern, and then we've just got white. Now here, I also went ahead and I punched an extra strand, and all of the little pieces that fall out, I just added a contrasting color right in that little center section, so it has a different look to it. Here, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to add a second white punched border. And all of a sudden now this kind of looks like a lattice or a chain. And I love the positive negative effect that you get there. So for something like this one, again, whether I have it on the sides of my layout or along the top and bottom, I can simply come in, add some photos, and then let's choose, well, I think this miracle, such a big miracle in such a little girl. That would be a great title. And I could just kind of anchor it over top here. And then I would want to maybe put another embellishment, something down here. So let's see, what else would be the pink? We had the pink bow that I pulled off earlier. And we could do something like maybe the carousel horse. So we could add that in, add the pink bow, and we'd be good. So again, a couple of border punches. There we go. And a couple of photo spots and a couple of embellishments. It's really quite quick. And I think once you start playing with your, let's tuck that in behind. Once you start playing with the border makers themselves and start seeing what some of the borders look like, then you can just add your photos in afterwards. It's sort of like the border becomes the page design. So again, it could go down the center, or in this case, we can go ahead and put our photos right across the middle. I've got a few more photo spots. I always really enjoy, standard size photos. These ones are 3.5 by 5.5. These ones are 4 by 6 and 4 by 4. Now, if you've got something like that that's filling up most of the space, again, you'll want to use your border as the place where you can add your embellishment cluster. So we could again do something like this, magic is in you. Now that's stuck together, let's choose something else. How about magical moments? Okay, and it could just go there over top of one of these little red spots. I always like to kind of place my clusters or my titles at the 1/3, the half, or the 2/3. So try not to, put them way, way over. Try to bring them, into a good position where they're 1/3, 1/2, or 2/3 across your border. So we could do this. Magical moments, just overlapping the border and that photo a little bit. And then let's do something over here. Where's the rest of my wizards? I don't want to do something blue. Oh, maybe let's do this. Let's do this instead. Let's put this down here. And let's have one of these fun owls sitting up here on a little perch. Okay. Could do something like this. Let me just grab a foam square and we can make him sort of go into that 1/3 spot up here. Okay. So again, just a couple of embellishments kind of on a diagonal across from each other, and the 2, in this case 4, but 2 or 4 Mosaic diamond chain border maker cartridge punched borders. And you've got some great layouts. Very feminine, very pretty, very light pastel, very sort of masculine, wizardy, and more dark and sort of moody. So again, super versatile. Even though when you look at it, you just think, well, that's a nice sort of design. When you see it and when you start playing with it, repeating it and saying, what if I did this? What if I punched it out from the paper? What if I punched it out from a strip of cardstock? What if I added some three-dimensional aspects to it, put some of the shapes back in? You start to get a whole bunch of different looks, okay? So that is our Mosaic diamond. And last but not least, let's talk about the frosted cupcake chain. And again, like I said, some people might say, well, that's very specific. I don't think that's going to be very versatile for me. So let's talk about what you can do with it. For the princess layout, what I've done, very similar to the border for the previous wizard one, is I took 2 of the borders, punched them out from this blue paper, and I just tucked them behind a 2-inch strip of paper. And all of a sudden, this sort of edge, this would be the top edge of the cupcakes with the little cherries and swirls, that sort of starts to look like a bit of a decorative edge border. But what's even more fun is that the little shape, maybe you can see it better there, the little shape that gets punched from this first cupcake looks like little clouds. So these little extra blue clouds on this overall cloud and balloon enchanted princess paper, these are actually the punched out shapes. So that becomes a nice little border, kind of featuring clouds up in the sky. And again, as we've been doing, we can get in a couple of different, I don't know, we could do whatever we like here. We could arrange our photos. Maybe we've got a 4x6 and a couple of 4x4s. And then let's add a really nice big cluster there. How about we add the castle? And if we added the castle in there, let's put the purple like that. And if we added the castle in there, then we can also add a title, and that becomes a huge focal point for our border. So, and again, kind of being conscious here of half or 1/3, 2/3. Okay, so I'm just going to put that there, and I'm going to let the castle go up into the clouds, but also peek down over the edge of the border so that it kind of comes into the field here. And let's see if we can find a title. Oops, that's Wizard. We could do something like Feel the Magic. That would be nice because it would pick up the purple. So if we did something like that and we just added that together, I'll put one more little foam square on the back just to make that stand up properly. And there we've got a great little cluster. We could do some journaling here, or we could do an embellishment here or here, and then journaling in the opposite space. So maybe we would do something like maybe the little rainbow, or maybe one of these cute little fairies. Okay, just to kind of reinforce the theme. Okay, so maybe a fairy there. Heck, we could even do 2 fairies. Okay, let's do 2. One in each little sort of intersection of our photos. And then we've got a couple of spots to do our journaling. You could add another cloud to them if you've got some more extras there. You can add another little shape or another little piece of word art. But that would just be really, really cute way to use that cupcake BMC as clouds with the enchanted princess. Okay? Now, so you're going to say now, okay, that's fine. How are you going to use it with the wizard? All right. So I'm going to bring in some blue paper here for the wizard. And I'm going to use this very sort of masculine stone paper. And instead of placing the kind of scalloped or decorative edge of the cupcakes towards the outside of our border, I've punched them from the black and gray, and I'm tucking the scalloped edge under the strip. And all of a sudden that has very much of a, I don't know, like almost like the edge of a hexagon or bricks or stones. It becomes very angular when you look at the bottom side of the cupcakes, all of the straight edges of the cupcakes. So again, I've just tucked those underneath the border. Same 2-inch border, same 2 strips from the Frosted Cupcake Border Maker Cartridge. And here we go. We got 2 more. I'm going to just use all gray here. This is, well, that would be actually quite a nice, let's do it this way. That would be actually quite a nice background to a photo, right? Most of it would be covered, but you get the idea there that it would just have a nice little connection. All right, so we could do something like that. We could do a different sort of arrangement. Whatever you like, whatever works for your photos. So I'm not following any sketches here. I'm just really looking at how I can use the space left over after I place my my borders. Okay. Now for this one, this is the one I was going to mention that I could definitely use because of the way the paper itself, it does not have a lot of decoration on it. I could definitely add another border strip there. Or I love this. I don't know if you saw these fantastic little castle walls. So because I've got the gray there, I could add my castle walls border strip on top. Let me just put a couple of foam squares there to hold it up. Not being too scientific about this, sorry. We'll just get those on there. Okay, and then we use the castle, a very pretty castle over here. Let's use the more masculine, dark, and foreboding castle over here. I shouldn't say foreboding. It does remind me a bit like a haunted house, and of course it does look a bit like a very famous castle where a very famous wizard kind of, goes to school, but we could just sort of overlap that like that. And again, same thing. Here, we've pulled the castle down from the border. Here, we're pulling the castle or the structure up from the border. So it just kind of connects the border to the background. And then again, we've just got lots of space to do whatever we want for the rest of our, well, we should put a dragon in there too. Hey, that dragon would be fun in there too. Oh, so many options. So there we go. There's the dragon at the castle walls, huffing and puffing maybe to get in. All right, so that pulls in the blue as well. So I love that. Easy, not anything crazy. We could add in something like adventure for our title, right? That would definitely be adventurous with our little dragon there. And we've got the Feel the Magic as our title over here. And again, I could put something else up here. Maybe I'm going to put one of our, that doesn't really show up too well. So maybe I'm going to put in some of our little lightning bolts, or even another creature. We've got an owl that could be flying in there. All right. So that's how we can really use one border cartridge, one border maker cartridge, or one border maker style, and adapt it to suit whatever layout we're working on, whatever theme we're working on, whatever colors we're working on, all of that kind of stuff we can do very, very quickly. Okay, so let me bring you back here to me, and I hope that that's given you some ideas. So we've done 6 layouts, 3 different border maker cartridges, 2 different collections, and again, I think the possibilities are really limitless with the border maker system. So I really encourage you, if you don't already have the border maker system, make sure you take advantage of the special edition, and you'll get the frosted cupcake chain. Then buy your Buy It All bundle for the Enchanted collection. Anything else that you need, your adhesive, all that kind of good stuff. Any pages, cardstock. I just wanted to remind you that, of course, what we're doing now is we're telling you which cardstock colors coordinate right on the package inserts. So I think that this is an excellent tool. Again, helping you decide what colors go really quickly so you don't have to waste a lot of time. You can look on it, you can see, oh, I really like the way that Island Waters and Purple Ice look. So I'm going to get my Island Waters and Purple Ice. And for my Enchanted, well, I really like that cranberry and the dark green, right? So whatever colors you want, just check the inserts, add those cardstock colors to your cart, and then once you reach that qualifying level, you can choose whichever one of the 2 exclusive border maker cartridges that you want. So I'd love to hear in the comments which one you want. Are you dotted banner chain or Mosaic diamond chain? So both of them are gorgeous. Both of them are versatile. Tell me which one is your favorite and which one's a must-have for you. Okay. I will say really quickly that I believe you can get up to 6 border maker cartridges free with your qualifying orders. So again, make sure you're checking your country's website, .com for US, .ca for Canada, .com/AU for Australia. And you'll find all the details for your qualifying orders so you can take advantage of those and get as many as you need. All right. I think if I had to choose, I think I might go with the dotted banner. That might be my number 1. Okay. Love them both, but I think dotted banner might be my number 1. All right. So yeah, I'm seeing people. I need both. I got both. Yeah, exactly. So again, I hope that you come back to this video when you're in need of some border making, inspiration. When you're looking at your border makers and you're saying, "Oh, I've used those ones. What else can I do?" Remember to think, "What if?" And come back and watch this video again, either on the YouTube channel playlist, or you can always search for it in the Facebook group. And hopefully that will spur some ideas, turning it, layering it, looking what it would, seeing what it would look like if you cut it apart. Using the idea of positive and negative space, using them vertically, using them horizontally, using them at the top, the bottom, the sides, in the middle, crisscrossing them, mitering them at the corners. We didn't even talk about that. So many different ways you can use them. You can make them go around a page. You can make them go around a circle. Lots and lots of different techniques, and we can't wait to see what you might come up with. Don't hesitate to put yours in either the comments below if you create something with it, or post it here in the Virtual Crop Facebook group, again, so that others can be inspired. All right? All right, what if? I love it. Exactly. It's a great little thing to just think of. Get yourself some, scrap cardstock, scrap paper, punch a couple and just play. Cut it up, layer it up, change it up, see what happens when you do things differently. Okay? Love it. All right, everybody, I'm going to let you go. Next week, we're going to play with Enchanted some more because, as I mentioned when Steph reminded me of the Argyle promo, the Argyle recipe template promo, we're actually going to be playing with that, some more Enchanted layouts, and we're going to talk about easy ways. We've looked at recipe templates before, but we're going to look at easy ways to adapt your recipe template to your collection, kind of like what we did with Enchanted Princess and Wizard today. We're going to do that with some recipe templates next week. All right, so that is Wednesday, June 7th it will be, and I will see you again here on the YouTube channel and in the Facebook Virtual Crop Facebook group next Wednesday, May 31st, 5 p.m. Central Time. All right, until then, have a great week. Thanks so much for spending some time with me, and I want you to think, what if? Can't wait to see what you come up with. All right, everybody. Bye for now.